Alright, what's up guys? Crypto market update today. I'm not gonna blabber on too much, we'll get straight into it. Mic check, sweet. Alright, I'll keep this short and concise. So we'll start off with Bitcoin. Market sentiment is still technically bullish for now. Yeah, like we are still fairly bullish. We're keeping bullish structure on the daily. Still in a weekly downtrend though, so that remains. But yeah, in terms of even the 3-day, we're on a 3-day still downtrend. Right, stand corrected there. And 2-day is an uptrend. Okay. So yeah, 2-day and daily, obviously an uptrend. Higher time frame, 3-day, 4-day, weekly. We are downtrending there. We're approaching this powerful supply level, so we are expecting rejections. Could even get some form of PO3 schematic at the moment, but we'll see how price develops. It's like good structure for a PO3 schematic, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna have this as my range, and yeah, we will wait and see what happens. I will set my alerts just in case this quickly becomes invalidated, but it would be nice for this to remain valid. All right, ETH, we've still got here our weekly open and our monthly open, which we have obviously talked about that we are expecting that rotation back down at some point. In terms of when we're going to get this, not sure yet, but we just got to be patient. I haven't really broken structure there, so I'm not going to draw my range. Yeah, I'm also focused on alts, and you'll see in a minute as to why. I have had a quick scan through my old pairs. Yeah, we have pretty much lost this level here in USDT dominance. Could we see this as a potential range formation? We can, but we do have supply as well here. Yeah, that's valid supply. Valid supply here on the 15-minute. Bear with me. All right. Got the sneeze out of the way. Get some water in. Sneeze out, water in. Little mini distribution there. On the US dollar index. Sack that off. But yeah, so far USDT dominance is showing lower. That obviously means crypto higher. So for now, that is why we're getting these, increases. But the second we can get some form of reversal, then obviously that will then indicate a different story. But for now, yeah, we are still trending down. Now this is where I had a quick squeeze on TON. Distribution looks nice, so very, very nice. There is my pristine return to zone. The only thing I don't like about this is the risk to reward. So what the plan here is, I think we have left some supply. Okay, perfect. Pre-planning here is we've obviously left supply. I would like a clean, we ought to get better at these drawings. Clean breaker structure. Slow pullback in here. Mitigate and then enter here with our stops here. So ideally we would turn this 1.54 risk to reward into a fairly tight approximate, obviously, into a tight like 4.7, even close to a 5 risk to reward there. So that is the pre-planning for TON that I would like to see happen. I'm actually going to leave this chart up here. But yeah, that's kind of the pre-planning here. I would like to see us break structure first, then mitigate this supply on the pullback. That is the plan. That's the plan of attack. Sweet. And yeah, that's a clean 5-minute OBIF, which has swept all these highs. All right, that's set. Quick squeeze at Doge. I'm less and less of a fan of this just because of the, the price action, and you can also expect this to be a range as well. So don't be fooled. Like, I can see something like this happen. So I'll monitor this range. I'll see if we can get a nice sweep. If we get a nice sweep and a break structure, then obviously I'm going to enter, because why not? It's valid, but I can see this being a bit more of our main range eventually. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Pepe is an interesting one because we have swept supply on Pepe. Pepe is a very interesting one. But what I do not like about us sweeping supply is market structure. This is not a valid 15-minute structure pull because we have only one consecutive bullish candle. We don't have two. This is not 30 minutes because although we have two consecutive bullish, we don't have two consecutive bearish. You need two consecutive bearish and then two consecutive bullish, or vice versa for correct market structure. So when I look at the 10, even 10 guys, 10 isn't market structure. This is, but the break here was just terrible. But given we are now showing signs of weakness, you can technically enter. So what I will do, this is a grey area because the return to zone is beautiful. You know what I mean? The return to zone is just beautiful. And you can potentially trade this as a potential model 1. Don't be fooled. This can very, very well do this. Come in, range for a bit more, take that high, and then fall down. This can very well do this. So it is one of those instances where you have to take a loss to take a win, but like structure is technically speaking broken. But that we're just deviating here, you know what I mean? it's not like we're not showing strong signs of weakness. Theoretically speaking, structure is broken, so what I will do is if we get a little pullback where I am happy to enter on, I will enter on. Even so, even price pulling up into here still gives us a decent, 8.4 risk to reward. So what I will do in the meantime is calculate my entry. I do have a website for this for anyone asking, so I do just calculate my position size online and then I enter on my exchange. Okay, that's my entry, that's my stop. I'm going to enter with 0.5% just because of the sketchiness of the break. Okay. Position size is there. Where are we? Total value. Alright, I have officially entered. Well, this was actually my entry. 6, 7. Not a chance I'll be doing your silly internet meme. Technically speaking, you could play it safe and pull your stops here, but no. So this is a 10 risk to reward entry. Voila, we're in. May as well add my TP as well while we're at it. Three, 6, 2, 1. Alright, TP set, stop loss is set. Here we go. Average open price is actually 6.2. So I do stand corrected there. So I was just gonna say, if this was a week, then we could be looking to get stopped out here. Pretty likely. That's actually the average entry. Sweet. All right. Well, I have entered. Alerts are set. That's fine. And I think I just got a notification on TON. Okay, well, TON has obviously mitigated this beforehand, so no longer a fan of this now. I've just done full screen. I've just done full screen, but I actually don't mind this. Hopefully you guys can still see it, and it seems like you can. All right. Yeah, that is the pre-planning on, or not pre-planning, that's the execution on Pepe. So we'll see what happens there. Do we have 15-minute structure there? No, we don't. That's our 15-minute structure, which might even be 30. No, 15. That is the 15-minute market structure low. All right. What have I done with Pepe? You're kidding. Did I just click on something? I think I did. Oh, man. Oh, man. Perfect. So yeah, I'm already expecting this to go higher now. Just based on this week here. Tau has mitigated this supply. Parts of it. Nothing really to see here though. Virtual. Same thing. This is now becoming less and less valid. XMR is now just becoming market structure, but never fear, we are allowed to use this as our range. This is now the new range. So we will now monitor this. That is completely fine to use. Really, really nice. What do I click on to? I don't even know what I clicked on to get this, but fair enough. We're already creating supply up here. We'll see how long that stays intact for. Awesome. Litecoin, not much. Like, yeah. Don't see it reaching there. Fartcoin, however, has mitigated supply, but and extreme liquidity. So I'm just going to sack extreme liquidity off. But we SFP'd this break of structure. So we had a 5-minute low, which we SFP'd, and now we're also leaving behind pretty clean looking sell side liquidity. So we will wait and see what happens here. I'm actually going to set an alert like up here. Okay. That is my Fartcoin plan. Obviously in an SFP swing vela pattern, you expect a full rotation back up to the next high or the next swing point. So that is our swing point. We're expecting a high up here. So we will see what happens then. It can be a simple thing of just upwards, take out this swing point and then break structure and then flush down. So just be patient there and see what happens. Render, not interested. I think that was it pretty much from my memory. Pump, obviously, quant, not interested. Pump hunt, this is textbook. So take your pen and paper out here, folks. Tap 1, tap 2, lower time frame, tap 3, but this will be a higher time frame extended tap. Clean looking return to zone. Pretty simple, very clean supply POI here, in line with our tap 1. All we want is a mitigation and a clean break of structure, like so. Mitigation, break, that's your break. Entry right here. Stops can be above here, and you'll have a fairly decent, like this could be like a 9 to 10 RR trade if you are monitoring this correctly and you have all your alerts set. But we have our alerts set, so we're just gonna monitor how or what price does. Move this, prioritize this to the top. Yeah, cake. Cake's not doing too bad. I'd like to see it come up into this supply POI. Hype has officially ran through all of this. Just going to monitor this. Aave still front running those POIs. XRP just ranging. Maybe something there for Sui. Set your alerts. Awesome. Whoops. Whiff is actually looking semi-distributive. Do have demand below, and I'm pretty confident of it. Okay, that's been mitigated. Still just want price to move around a little bit more here. Sol, nothing. Asta, nothing. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't really be calling this a liquidity POI just because it swept this. We'll see if we reject from here. Link looks like a potential scalp opportunity here. Sweet. Bitcoin Cash looks like it's booming. Trump, not interested. I think Bread, we had something going on potentially, yeah, and we still do. So Bread is still fine. Pepe is moving up. Yep. It is leaving behind a lot of buy-side liquidity, which is what I do not like. Yeah, look, overall fairly poor entry here, just because of the weak break of structure. I'm gonna assess this now off stream. And I might try sneak in an exit at break even. So I'll wait for this pull back down and then just try and exit this at break even and reassess. Alright, that is it for today, guys. Thank you all for listening, viewing, subscribe if you've made it this far, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.